Welcome back, everybody. It is a beautiful day today. I mean, I think it's our first day in the 60s here in Western Massachusetts. It's currently 66 degrees out right now, which is awesome considering what we've been through just in this last little tail end of winter. So it's great. Perfect day for flying, really, but that's not where I'm headed. Well, I'm headed to the airport because the plane was pulled into the hangar today and is completely torn apart for its annual. So I told Jeff, the head mechanic or AP down there, that I was interested in doing, to some degree, owner assist. Not so much in just getting in there and getting my hands dirty, at least this trip. I want to get more familiar with the aircraft so that I might be able to understand what's happening below my butt, behind my back, things like that. I have a basic idea, but to see it just makes it all click for me and the way my brain works. And not to mention, if something's ever acting funny with my mechanical way of thinking, I could probably be a little bit helpful with the diagnosis and possibly even catch something or fix it myself if it's simple enough and I'm allowed to. So anyways, maybe next time, once I understand what needs to come out of the aircraft for the inspection, maybe next time I'll be able to do the removal of all the interior, the inspection panels, things like that, and maybe lower my cost on next year's and can't speak today. Maybe lower my cost on next year's inspection. So that would be cool, and if not, not a big deal. It's the cost of having an aircraft. So I'm super excited because during this annual, we're also having the two G5s installed. So that's going to be super interesting. So I'm excited to fly with them, but also to hopefully get an idea on how they're installed, what it takes to install them, because the G5s are being added, but the goal is to ultimately add a new Garmin GPS system too, and that's gonna connect to the G5s. So doing some future work today. Well, not today. I think they said they'd probably be in the plane for about a week. I'm not sure of the costs. I'm kind of guessing that, well, Jeff said a normal annual on the aircraft like this, if nothing's out of place, maybe like $1,400 or so. I already have a short list of things that I want looked into or replaced or repaired on the plane, so I know it's going to be above that. We're going to be getting the new tires installed, obviously closer inspection of the brakes when that's happening, so may or may not get new brakes. We'll see what they look like. New gas tank cover seals, because I don't think they're leaking, but they don't feel snug like most of the other aircraft I was flying. So might as well just do that. It's an inexpensive part. Let's see, instrument lighting. When we did that dusk flight, a lot of the instruments did not have lights, so we're going to look into that. And also the dome light was not working, so one more thing to look at. Hopefully just a burned out bulb or something simple, loose ground. We'll figure that out. Now the big thing we're looking into is the ADS-B, because it's spotty. When I look on FlightAware after flights, it's sporadic. The sends a signal sometimes, and sometimes does not send a signal. So thinking that's just a loose antenna connection, possibly a loose ground. Hopefully something simple. If not, when we move into the GPS area, we may end up looking into, is it a NX375, and that would be GPS and transponder, as opposed to, I was going to be getting the GNX N7965, which would be, I believe, the GPS and a new radio. So we'll figure that out when we get there. But I'm going to get down, film a little bit of the plane disassembled so I have a better idea of what's going on behind all these panels. I will film and photograph as much as I can. I'll probably document that here just so it's mostly for my own reference, but you guys will get a peek too. And, you know, maybe have a conversation or two with Jeff about what it looks like and where we're headed with this. So come along for the ride and we'll see what happens. Well, that was interesting, and I learned a lot. I spent probably 2.5 hours at the hangar with the APs, just asking some generic questions and observing them as they were doing the annual on the plane. And I ended up stripping the leading edge tape and adhesive off of the stabilator because I think I mentioned before that it was curled up, and it was curled up and pretty rigid. So obviously no great airflow over that stabilator or disrupted airflow. So that needed to be done, and that was a lot of work. I was shocked because somebody had used at least a couple different kinds of adhesives to re-adhere that at some point down the road. I want to say there was probably some rubber cement in there. Who knows, maybe one of it looked like possibly some Gorilla Glue because it was very, very hard. It wasn't, had no give to it at all. So, I soaked that all down with Goo Gone, and I proceeded to scrape at it with a plastic razor, and that got most everything off. I did need to use metal razors in a couple of spots where there was that applied adhesive that wasn't coming off with anything else. There was definitely some small dings in the leading edge of the stabilator that had been bondoed or just were just small and left there, hidden under the leading edge. Nothing dramatic though, and definitely also some bare aluminum. So Jeff is going to clean and prep that and get a little bit of whatever special primer goes on that to protect the aluminum, the Alcad coating on it, or whatever's there, and get that all taken care of. And then I'll probably go back and apply that leading edge tape. But the good news is there are no surprises in this annual yet, and they're almost done. In fact, they might be done by the end of today. If not, they should be done early on Monday, and that's great news. Most all the other tasks that I had added to the annual have already been completed. A lot of them before I even got there. The prop wasn't properly clocked the way it should be. Something in the front nose wheel adjuster nut at the top was safety wired backwards, and just a bunch of little things we found during the pre-buy, but they weren't pertinent. They didn't need to be addressed immediately, so all those taken care of now. New tires, the brakes look fine. Adjusting the oil pressure up a little bit because it was a little low. All my compressions are 77 and 78. Just, yeah, no bad news. So that's exciting. So as soon as they get done with the annual, then they're going to start in on the G5 installations. And I'm not sure 100% what to expect for that, because if you look around online, you see estimates for dual G5 installations in the low end of 20 to 25 hours. And then you see other estimates that say 40 to 50 hours. And that's a big variance. And it's also a big difference between the billings. So I'm kind of hoping to fall maybe near the middle of those numbers. I'm hoping it doesn't cost more than $3,350 to have the two of those installed and functioning, but we'll see when we get there. So yeah, gorgeous day. Got up to like 66, 67. I really wished I was flying. I was a little jealous watching the planes come and go out the hangar doors there, but what can you do? This bird is going to be a lot better when I do get up, maybe later next week. So yeah, that's exciting. So this is just a quick update. I will probably make a different video if I can get back there a couple of times during the G5 installations. I don't want to be in their hair. I don't want to be annoying them, but I'm very curious as to the process and what needs to be done and all that good stuff. They didn't mind me there today. I stayed out of their way. I stayed to the tail of the aircraft. When they were working on parts, I went up and stood there, observed, asked a few questions, but we all get along great anyways. But yeah, I learned a lot. It's interesting just to get in there and see, where the cables are, what they do. All the inspection covers are off, so you can see things you can't normally see. And considering I'm building an aircraft, I'm like doubly curious as to how these things work on other aircraft. So yeah, it was a good afternoon, and I appreciate those guys allowing me to sit in there, observe, and ask questions. And I encourage everybody to develop a good relationship with your APs and take more of an interest in your aircraft, because it's like driving a car. You're the one driving it all the time. They're not flying the plane. So when you feel something is amiss, or there's a new noise or a new shimmy or a new something, if you have an idea how things work, I think you can convey what's happening a little bit better to the people you depend upon to fix those. So yeah, like I said, overall great day, no surprises. I can't ask for much more. So that's it. Remember, if you like what I'm doing here, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click the like button, because that makes YouTube really happy. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that little notification bell. They love that too. And then share these videos with your friends. As always, thanks for watching.